What is going on, guys? My name is Ty, and I'm Kyler with me, and we are the Weekends Warriors Disc Golf Podcast. What is going on again? We are back, episode 28. A lot to unfold. I just finished one of the best, if not my best tournament ever, and I really want to talk about it. And we'll definitely hit that later in this pod. But of course, we are going to hit our sponsor read, a couple small topics, Rodney's Corner, which was really great.
The 2024 True Bank Des Moines Challenge.
Yeah, that. We're going to be talking about that as well. And yeah, we'll get right into it. But first, we have the beautiful sponsor read by Gravity Disc Golf. Gravity Disc Golf exists to exceed your out of this world expectation with unparalleled custom designs, disc, and apparel. Gravity is creating an atmosphere where disc golfers can enjoy every aspect of disc golf while blasting off with space-themed designs. No matter what you throw, Gravity has designs on almost every manufacturer's and can make your game look great. They offer free shipping on orders over $75, and John includes a nice note to each customer. Make sure to check them out at gravitydiscgolf.com to complete your bag. And let me tell you, Kyle, it is out of this world. Definitely use code KG10 or TIDG10 to get off 10% of your next order. Get some cool stuff like their jerseys or apparel, because I'm telling you, I wore both of my jerseys, Kyle, this weekend or last weekend for my tournament. One for first round, so obviously for the second round. It was hot, so I wanted to switch. And I was getting some great compliments on both my jerseys. People absolutely loved them. And they were like, yo, where can we get them? And I was like, hey, gravitydiscgolf.com and use my code. And also just some great designs, killer designs. They just dropped some amazing signature stuff from Alden Harris, so definitely check those out as well. And they came out with a newer stamp that's more like alien themed, so check that out as well. So right now, Kyle, how are you doing? What is going on? Tell me what's new.
I am good. So speaking of jerseys really quick, I honestly, if you want to see it in action, I do have a video up on my YouTube of my flex tournament. You can see me wearing it there, or on my Instagram. I got a couple clips from there on there right now.
Oh yeah.
They look fantastic, and I can't wait to see your video coming out. Rodney filmed both of your rounds fully, so we're gonna have some content coming out from Tyler here, which is extremely exciting. Yes, which is awesome. It's good to see. But overall, I've been good. League nights have been really fun. Casual rounds have been really good. My overall play has just felt really freaking good lately.
Yeah.
And I think it's due to my putting, but my driving, everything, my approaching, everything has felt really good. And I'm just going to throw it out there. It might be due because I got my graces back in my bag.
Okay.
It might be due because I'm not overthinking which disc to throw on some of the holes as well on some courses. If I know it's a great shot, it's a great shot. If I know, okay, this is a 200 something hole, what am I doing? Just throw mid range. If it's, or I think I can get my putter here. If I don't want to put too much on it, I'll throw my mid range, so I'm not overthinking and throwing these drivers on shots I probably shouldn't need, I don't need to. So I'm pushing too far left, too far right, or anything else there because I'm trying to oomph it, instead of just nice and easy. But overall, my play has felt really good. Shot a -8 at our course for just a normal casual round a couple days ago, bogey free. Hell yeah. Just feeling really good overall. That's the main stuff going on with me. But my putting. So I watched I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I may have. Can't recall. I watched a 4-year-old video of Owen Scoggins talking about putting.
Okay.
I've switched to spin putting. Hunter from Grip Up. You were right. Just switch to spin putting. You're going to make majority of your stuff. Because it's working for me. It worked for Hunter. It's happening. It's spin putting. That's what it is.
Okay.
So I used to have a very lofty, slow putt, which windy or anything. It was like, oh, throwing at the basket. But now I'm,
That's what I'm
coming
dealing with.
down, coming up to my chest, keeping my wrist locked. So it's just going like this instead of like, or like, like wafting it
So
up.
you
And
still
I got
go
my
down.
finger, I go down and then up towards my chest and just bam.
So
Yeah.
you're just doing this.
Yep. Just boom.
Wow.
And
And it's not
I
like
recommend
flipping to
watching
the
the
right. It's not doing
no,
weird.
it's just dead straight. I just aim like my release point, and as I release, I'm pointing straight at the basket, dead center, and it just hashes in. And when I say my putting is on game right now, I'm I mean it's on point. If I'm within circle, I'm making my putts the last 2 weeks a good because even my partners have been like, oh, I just got to get you somewhat in manageable situation. You're making it. So within
That's awesome.
circle, within 33 feet, I've been not quite perfect, but almost perfect.
That's awesome.
From, I'm not even kidding, from 100 feet to circle two, I'm hitting off the basket, like, or I've cashed at least one of them in round. Circle two putting steppers, like on just on the outskirts of circle two, as in like between like where circle two starts. I'm at least at that, what is it, 66 feet? I'm at least making two of those steppers
Mm,
around.
that's awesome.
Anything closer, like closer at circle's edge to, where you're just barely in circle two and
Yeah.
out, I'm making a good and more, not as much as circle one, but the numbers go down a little bit, but it's still higher than like, oh, what it used to be 50-50. Oh, I'm not inside circle one. And I don't know, I'm not in with 20 feet. I don't know. Lately, it's just been on fire.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. No, that sounds a great. I need to focus on that. I might have to change that up because right now my putting is way too wobbly, and like obviously we'll get in more into it with the tournament, but it definitely that is one thing that if I putted better, I would be sitting under par my first round because I ended up
Right.
getting, I think, four, if not five. I think it was four birdies in the first round. So
Mhm.
and definitely I need to really focus on putting. That is the one thing that I'm having issues with right now.
Yeah, no, it was it's been a ton of fun figuring this out because when you're playing good disc golf, it's a lot of fun. Even if I'm playing rough, I'm still enjoying myself. I'm still having fun. It's still very casual. I'm really
Mm.
enjoying it, but it's been good. It's been good, but there's really no disc golf this week unless we pick a morning and travel to another town because Fourth of July is here. They take baskets out because of the fact that people park in those areas and they hit them and everything else. And we got brand new baskets in the course. We don't want that. So for Walnut, there's really no disc golf during this weekend. So we kind of week off the league, but I the Pixels have been really well to me. But overall, the tournament, you texted me, you're like, my Lunas are in my bag. I'm using my Lunas. So once we get done with Ronnie's corner, we'll have to get into that. Let me know how
Mm.
the Lunas were working. Let me know, how your
Yeah.
drivers were working, your mid ranges, what you were focusing on, what disc you were reaching towards, because you kind of teased a little bit to me that you were reaching for a disc that I absolutely love now in my bag and
Yeah,
is
there was
absolutely 100% staple in my bag. So excited to hear you talk about that disc as well
I
when we
had
get there.
solid six disc that was my go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly, I actually had three. If I did the entire, if I did the entire, I pretty much did the entire game with the main three, but there was technically six solid disc that I went through the entire time that got me this fourth place.
Perfect.
And I I have to say, which also in Rodney's corner, we talk about it, and Sarah said it too, which I'm glad she did mention it, is my game is completely different because I am so comfortable with this bag where I am creating a in the bag of what my bag was for that tournament. Because obviously I make my bag for tournaments. That's how I do it. That's why it's been difficult for me to create it in the bag because I'm very much of a mood player, which obviously we'll get in more of reason why I send that text message to you, like it's a Luna day, is I'm a very much of a mood player. And so my bag changes frequently. So I am creating I actually recorded already, but I am we're going to be releasing a what I threw at the tournament and what my bag was for that tournament.
Perfect.
But as of right now, we'll go to Ronnie's corner. Alrighty, we're here in Ronnie's corner. Take it away.
All right. So for the 2024 Swedish Open, that was June 28th through June 30th. Here are where the points are. Sarah, FPO 1, MPO 0. So I got 1 point. Tyler, FPO 2, MPO 1. He got 3 points. And then Kyle did really well with FPO. So FPO 3, MPO 1. He got 4 points. So leading up to this week, our points are myself 43, Tyler 37, and Kyle 43. All right, let's talk about it.
What's there to talk about other than he was right on the FPO side? Let's go.
You were spot on for that.
So she has been on an absolute tear, like I said. And I love seeing it because what I can't wait for, honestly, is to see Silva
against Tatar
and just come over like when the European Open is and stuff like that, when some of the FPO American side goes over there, like Missy and Hamley and stuff. But I mean, and Silva's young. Like, this is really awesome to see. She's consistent. And her putting, we talk about Owens putting, probably like easily the best FPO putter.
Oh, yes.
Easily, hands down. Silva's right there with her. Like, Silva is so good at putting.
So, rise of right now, there is a record for how many games in a row have you won. Right now, she's sitting at 5 wins or 5 titles in a row. First place right now is at 7. That's from Paige Pierce. So she only needs 2 more wins to tie and first for that record to potentially break that as well.
Oh, wow. And she's newer to disc golf, right?
Yep.
Like pro wise.
Mm-hmm. She's actually I believe she's actually newer in general.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, she's not new. Oh, she's been playing since 2018. Okay. But yeah, Pro Tour.
New, just in general.
That's still pretty new. So Pro Tour, though, she did play some last year.
Mm-hmm.
She played 3 events, 4 events last year.
Yes, that's not a lot. Yeah,
but
and
she's on the rise, that's for sure.
The fact that out of a lot of I think only I'm looking up right now for the top 10, there was only one American that made it up there. Which was
Ella.
our third place was Ella Hansen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is that they were the dang.
I think Ella was pretty much the only. I think there's only a couple of that. Yeah,
that
played
made the trip over early.
Yeah.
There'll be more during Europe Open, so we'll definitely see
absolutely.
like how that is. But
I'm excited to see.
But the thing is that she's beaten Henna and Evelina, which are considered
the
easily
top.
Not necessarily with Tatar, but definitely better than anybody here at the moment. Before they took the break here.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like a stroke win; it was a 5-stroke win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's impressive, and so I'm excited to see her play for the Europe Open when more, like you said, like Missy and all of them come over. So it'd be cool to see her play against them. And Tatar's supposed to be back by then, correct? I don't know her
I
update
think so. I gotta
when
see.
of when she's coming back, but when she does, it would be cool to see them go against each other. But yeah, the moment I think it was day 2 is when she kind of started getting that lead, and I was like, Kyle called it to a T. So, but yeah, nothing really with FPO. Let's if you all have nothing, let's talk about MPO. And somebody predicted a top 3 person.
Yeah, my boy James Proctor. But you guys made fun of me for not made fun of me, but you guys were like, "Oh, that's just a random pick." No, that dude,
I definitely said that, like verbatim.
yeah, no, it's just the guy has been doing very well, and yes, it's his first ever Pro Tour win, after 16 years of playing,
Which is fantastic.
but it's really cool that he finally got the dub.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say about that. It's just I wanted him in third though, sadly, just to get some extra points. But hey, I'll take at least a point and be happy with it. Very excited for him. Hopefully he wins some more, but the field is just so strong. It's just once we start, once we start having the full strength field again, I don't know. I'd love to see him win actually with a full strength, but he's gotten close, but we'll definitely see how that is.
Yeah. And I never cheered so hard for Paul to get second place so that Kyle would not get 2 points, but just 1 point. Because I was doing the math and I was like, I need him to get second. He'll just get 1 point instead of 2 points because I knew we would have either he'd be ahead or we'd be tied. And so, but yeah, and then buckets, it was cool to see. So for MPO, they're not having the Europe like domination style compared to what FPO in general is experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I mean, you had the people from Europe on the MPO side, dude, that show up like Oni or Uni or how you say his name, and a couple other just very difficult name, very hard names to say. But there's a few NPO though that was on the top, 5 that were right there. Obviously that's their backyard, their grounds. The course that they played was not easy at all. Very heavily woods, very rocky, just very, not flat at all. So it definitely, was a difficult time for the Americans that were there. Crazy what happened with Calvin.
I know I was gonna bring that up. The funniest story.
Where he didn't know he had his bag.
He decided last minute to show up, got canceled flights, got redirected multiple times, jet lagged, never played the course before, winging it. And his bag showed up the morning of, like, his clothes bag. He's like, well, I have clothes, so that's a bonus. And he's just, I was like so spontaneously like, you know what? I want to play this. And he made the last, like, he tied for 44th, so he got cash. He almost didn't even cash out from this experience. And that's why he had a video. He's like, at least as long as I make cash, it's fine. It's worth this journey. But he posted a video of him just roaming around the small town and like meeting, younger kids, like fans and stuff. And he's like, this just made it all worth it right here of just getting to explore and everything like that. But yeah, he had a journey to get there. And it was just so funny of how tired you could tell he was of like, I'm playing the course after I finish the course because I've never even looked at this course. So we're winging it here. And I'm like, such a spontaneous, funny journey to watch.
Yeah, that is quite the journey, as you said. Paul, like I said, finishing second. Well, there's like 3 of them tied for 20 with 21 points. So, um, Eric Oakley got a top 11. It's always fun to see.
Yeah,
But
he's already
overall,
back in Florida.
So did
yep.
yeah, Ricky got it up there.
Overall, it was fun to watch. I will say I kind of enjoy the European commentating more than I do
I
the
was
our
just about to
commentating.
say that.
I will say
their
that.
just everything. Their
Mm-hmm.
commentary,
Spectators, the volunteers,
their
the
camera work, like Tyler said, like automatically like something was happening instead of a random shot, like we're seeing a different player. Like you just see disc golf at all times. There's nothing not happening where you're not watching
they're-
somebody putting or doing something.
Mm-hmm.
they jumped into first they did the lead card and then they immediately jumped over to where the chase was, and you watch all 4 chase tee off or like do whatever, and then they immediately went back to lead and then they went back to chase. And so like there were some times though it was a little confusing where like you had to like really focus on like what they were doing. But the thing is we were watching golf, and obviously the first round they pulled a story. They pulled a story with the whole eagle, like foot situation. They had no idea what was wrong with the eagles with the foot, which lucky enough it was just him just really stubbed his toe. But the thing was is they pulled this story where like they got a shot of him like looking very emotional like on the bench with his girlfriend, and like
Mhm.
and they're like, oh, like what is he thinking, like what's going on? But then they go back to golf and they're like making sure, seeing how eagle finishes out and stuff. And so they like captivated actual storytelling in disc golf, which as somebody who does this normally is that's very difficult to do in a real-time position like that where you're pulling and forming something like that, like a narrative. And it's just really cool to see them be able to commentate that and being on top of actually uh commentating like everything else that's happening. So I personally enjoy it. It was soothing. It was nice. They were saying great things. Like if it was a bad shot, they said it was a bad shot, and they were like, "Oh, that did not look good" or whatever. And then like but it just for them, it was so smooth and it was just
It was
clean.
so, like you said, it was so smooth. It was so natural.
Yeah, very natural. Obviously, there were some still minor issues, which like I never really had too much of an issue with, but there's some just typical mistakes like switching to a shot and the shot wasn't fully ready, or the shot maybe stayed on a little bit too long and the cameraman decided to move, or there was one time they flipped to a camera angle and they were fixing their exposures like on live. So there's still obviously some little minor like tweaks here and there that obviously work on, but that's just you know mistakes that's going to happen. Everybody's not going to be perfect. But the thing is I would watch that any other day than what we got here. So I do agree with that.
Yeah, no, it was a lot more entertaining. Like you said, there was always some kind of action. Just listening to what they had to say about the throws, everything just seemed like
They knew
on
what they're
par
talking
with
about.
like what was going. Yeah, 100%. It was insane. It was really awesome. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, I definitely did prefer that over anything.
Yeah. No. Immediately I was just like, I looked at Sarah when we were watching. I think it was like day 2, and I was like, Europe just knows what they're doing, and we're so far behind. And I'm just like, even their spectators, they just genuinely, it just shows that they truly support disc golf, and they really like are very passionate over there with disc golf. And we're not even compared. We're not
But
even on the
I
same level.
will quote, I think, what Brody has said. Across seas, the travel isn't far,
Oh yeah,
and
I agree with that.
it's closer proximity
Yeah, no,
compared to, like he said, give us
we
some
know that.
credit. Like we're such a huge country where it's hard for even players to travel the entire time. So I do agree with that, but it is cool how much I know it too, because even players have said that they love going over cross seas because of the fans, like the way they show up and just genuinely love the sport. But I'm like, okay, we have to remember that not everyone can travel and go to every one here. Like I would love to,
I agree
but
with that.
it's just not it's not as doable compared to across seas. Like I said, their country barely, like,
They're
we're so
minutes away
large.
as opposed to hours away. Yeah, I agree
Yes,
with that.
correct.
No, I get it. But I just, yeah, it just makes it 10 times better though, regardless. It doesn't, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, they don't have anybody threatening
Oh yeah.
the
Just a safe.
entire event, and we're
Yeah.
suspended for a full day because one person wants to be a bad apple and threaten
Yeah.
the event. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
but yeah, let's jump into this week's, which
All
we're in the
right.
Midwest.
Yes, yes, yes. It seems fitting for,
Ooh.
the 4th of July weekend. Midwest does the best for 4th of
Yeah.
July. I will forever hold that.
Fireworks in
Um,
the air.
uh so for the 2024 True Bank in Des Moines, Iowa, presented by PGA. It is July 5th through the July 7th. Kyle, go ahead with your FPO picks.
Ooh.
No, I don't feel like it.
All right. Anyways,
He
no,
picked nobody. All right, we'll move on.
That's because I'm winning already. So no,
Uh,
for
if you're
FPO
listening, I just gave the biggest eye roll. Anyways, continue.
for the FPO field, I have Big Money Missy Gannon coming in first, Snow Tatar. But even that Gannon won it 3 years ago, and the Tatar won it the last 2 years. But the last 2 years when Tatar was playing, Gannon always seemed to finish second or so. She always plays really well here. There's no Tatar. That means Gannon's taking us down. I have Holland Hanley going in second because the fact that she's been playing well overall. She has her ups and downs, but compared to the field that is out there right now, I think Hanley definitely still, if her game is on, she can definitely take it down as well if she really wanted to at this point. But she does like sitting around that second, third spot. And somebody that played well last year, I was debating between her and another. I picked Jennifer Allen coming in third. That's pretty random, but she played well there last year, and she does decent here usually. And I just feel like this is gonna have a one of those odd third place finishes. I was even debating on Juliana Corver just sitting in that slot, like just
Okay.
because
yeah, I was thinking that too, actually.
she plays well there too.
And
It's just one of those courses that
exactly like you said, it's one of those courses when I was looking up the last few, the thirds are just random people. Like not random, but like not who I would be expecting of like a name, where I'm like, wait, okay. So I had to, that's why when I sent mine, I was like, for both of them, I'm like, these are picks I've never or haven't picked in a long time, where I'm like, something's telling me just go for it because, you know. All right. Tyler, go ahead with your FPO.
I didn't pick her first, but I do want to shout out. It's Kyle's, not Kyle, but let me back that up. I want to just give a shout out to this person. I did not pick her, but I am excited because she is technically local, and that's Lexi Marks.
yes, she's playing again.
She's playing again. So that is a
What?
local in the central Illinois area, I'm assuming, right? Or like where's she at? Like where's her hometown?
Peru.
Peru?
Yep, Peru, Illinois.
Yeah.
It's not far. It's 40 minutes from here, right,
Yeah.
Sarah? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 40 minutes. Was she not playing for an injury or just because
No,
of?
no, no. She's
It's just
finally been going on tour.
Oh, okay.
yeah, she
Okay.
just started.
Yeah, and she's also sponsored by Discmania, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken.
I believe she's
Yes.
Dysmania.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just want to shout out local girly. What's up? Support the Midwest. Hopefully do well. I didn't pick you, sadly, but I hope you do well. I just want to say hey. Anyways, now my top 3 pick. First, obviously Missy Gannon. We don't have the tar, so Missy Gannon's gonna pop off. These next 2 picks are random, but here's my reasonings.
I feel like your reasoning might be my reasoning for one of them. But continue.
Okay. So Haley King is second place. The reason why I picked her is she is overdue. It has to be better at some point of her injuries that she's been having. She just needs to, she's overdue. She's overdue for a podium finish at least, or at least in the top 3. So I have her in second place, and then third place. I thought I will never say this name ever in the longest time ever, but something is telling me, like James Proctor, I'm having that same feeling for this person, and that is Kona Montgomery. She obviously signed roughly 4 years ago with Dynamic Disc for the 4 for 400 K, and I'm telling you, like at that time she was up always in the top 5, and now she's been dealing with her I believe she had like some sort of like disease or some sort. I forgot what she had, but she had surgery for it, and like or cancers, I don't remember what it was, but I don't want to talk too bad on that, but she had something that was medically, something was going on, and she had to take some time, and then she had to bounce back. But the last performance that she did very well. So she might be, I don't want to say back, but she might be playing at her level that she normally would be. And so I'm picking her this once. And if she proves me right, I will keep her in my positions here and there at times. But this is her one shot and one shot only. But I picked Kona Montgomery for third place. So please, please don't disappoint me. I need
You
my
only
points.
you only get one shot, Kona, so don't screw it up.
Please do not
Um,
finish like 50th. Just, I don't even know, there's not even 50 FPOs,
I don't think
but
so.
just don't finish in the bottom.
Okay, and then so for my FPO, I have Big Money Missy. We have Missy Gannon, and then I have Own because she didn't go across, so she's been in the States practicing. I just never bet against her because it's Own. And then I have Haley King. I have Haley King as well because last year she DNF'd this one. She didn't play it at all, or she got injured and took it out. So I was like, you know what? Her pattern this year has been up in the top, up in the top, up in the top. Not a good game. Middle finish, not a good game. Just finished one of them in second. I think it was like a lower tier, but finished up there. So I was like, you know what? Something's telling me she's going to have a good round because she didn't get to play it last year. And it'll just be, I don't know. Her name stood out to me and I was like, I'm going for it. We'll see what happens. Kyle, for your MPO.
For my MPO, I have Gannonberg taking it down. Won it last year, plays well here. It's Iowa. It's open. I have Simon Lizotte coming in second. I don't know. It's just one of those things looking at. There's others I could have put there, but I'm feeling Simon this weekend. He had his Rust event last week or the week before. And now he's back kind of to the grind. So picking Simon for second. And another one that I could see playing well here. Another name that I don't think we've really said on the top 3 yet. But he was in the feed card at I don't know, was it last year or year before on day 2, I think it was, or something like that. But I'm picking Mr. Beans himself, Ezra Aderhold.
Beans.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead, Tyler.
All right, first place. Obviously, I have to give it to the hometown boy, Gannon Burr. Obviously, it's back at home, so definitely Iowa boy has to take it down for first place. Second place, I have Isaac Robinson. Once again, he's overdue. It's his time. He needs to start playing well, taking more seriously. They just took out 2 people from Prodigy. I feel like the heat is on him now to play better. Um, or they're just making more cap and actually just focusing on the Robinson brothers, which is fine for Prodigy, but they just took out Kevin Jones and Vinyl. So I I just feel like their Prodigy is definitely is like, yo, if you're not going to be, performing well, then I don't know what their contract is, but they have to start playing better. So I feel like Isaac's going to pop off after that situation. And then obviously I have another somewhat of a local guy, Galvin Rathbun. I mean, Midwest disc golf, Midwest kid, definitely going to be at least playing well. So hopefully he comes in third. So those are my 3 picks.
Okay. And then this is for my MPO. This is pre-recorded, obviously, before it starts. So my second place come the 5th might change. If he signed up, but he might still be across season. Tyler pointed that out to me when I did my picks. So as of right now, I have MPO. I have Gannon Burr for first. No pressure, but this is your hometown course. Let's get after it. Let's do it. And then my second, I have Calvin. He was just in Sweden. I don't know if he's coming back home for this. He's listed that he is playing, and he posted 2 days ago that he was still across seas. But as of right now, he's still on the list that he is there. So as of right now, he is my second place. And then my third, we talked about him a little bit last week. I have Luke Humphreys. I haven't picked him, but something's telling me he's also a Midwest boy. I saw he was from Kansas, and I don't know, something's like when it's fun watching him and Burr go against each other. They have the fun bickering. They just have fun, and I'm hoping that that's in the finals come day 3. So right now I have Burr, Calvin, and Luke, and we will keep each other posted come July 5th if Calvin is officially playing or not. But yeah, that is my picks.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
All right.
So, quickly.
Oh
Sarah,
no.
this was be a hard one for you because this involves disc itself.
Oh
wait, we're doing a
no.
trivia thing again? Oh,
Yeah.
But because in honor of Silva, the timer is 15 minutes, but I'm not going to use 15 minutes. I'll give you 5 minutes.
Okay.
In honor of Silva, like I said, Sarah's going to struggle because she may not know a single disc here, but she could try to help you out.
That's going to be just me.
I'm just here for moral support.
As of February 2024, so this does not include the trance, detour, or pitch. Name as many MVP, Axiom, Streamline disc as you possibly can.
Dang.
So.
MVP disc?
Axiom, Streamline. Start naming them off.
Oh no. Okay. I'm trying to think here. So we got oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. We have the relay, right?
Yep.
Okay, we got Tesla.
Right.
We got Volt.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, Volt.
You're a wolf.
We got Sanity. We got Hex.
Oh, I know the Hex.
We got Paradox. We got the Proxy. We got the Pixel. We got the dimension. We got the teleport. We got we've got the limit.
Doing good.
Shoot, I'm
I'm
trying
trying
to think of
limit.
like, huh?
You said limit.
Yeah. Is there one called limit?
Not the way I'm thinking of spelling it.
It should be
Go ahead, keep going.
I think it might be a distant driver.
I'll look. Keep going.
Okay, cool. We got the energy. I'm trying to think of like they do a lot of like the stuff like these. Nitro, octane. Oh my god.
You haven't even said my favorite disc, one of my favorite discs yet.
I'm trying to save that for last.
Mm.
Is it the Eagle one?
No, it starts with
Oh.
V.
But that is a disc. You know what the Eagle one is?
It's
James Conrad threw it in.
I
Yeah.
literally threw it the whole weekend, Sarah.
I know the pixel because of Simon.
I told you,
And it's
hey, I'm gonna be throwing on this hole. And
the rebirth.
I would thank you. I would park it every time.
But it's not the rebirth because that's after February. But what is the rebirth? What is the rebirth though? The rebirth is actually a specific disc in the lineup.
It's James Conrad's Holy Shot.
It's not a driver.
It starts with an E. It's a pitch and putt. It's a putting approach.
It's one of the deadly sins.
Envy.
Yes.
All right, keep going.
Photon, Zenith.
There you go.
Wave.
The Zenith
Time lapse.
All right.
Is there like
zoning out? He just looks off.
it's my ADHD.
You're 18 out of 66.
Oh,
18 out of 66?
Mm.
Oh my gosh. Impulse, I think. Don't they have like an inertia too?
That's one of my favorite straight fine ones from their lineup.
Terra.
Amp.
What did I all say? I'm just kind of like guessing now. I'm just trying to think of like energy words. Did I say relay already?
Yep. What does Conrad putt with?
Did I? I thought it was the Envy.
No. It's his disc. It's his putters.
Oh my god. I don't know. A signal? No, that's a mid range. Deflector? No, that's a mid range.
But that's your
but those are discs you haven't said, so
yeah.
I don't know. I'm on mid ranges right now. Because I'm thinking because I have the hex, I have proxy,
the hex, paradox, deflector.
There's something vertex. No vertex?
No.
Huh?
Not that I'm seeing.
Okay. Matrix?
There you go.
Reactor?
Oh
my god. I'm actually doing way better than I expected.
I gave you 30 more seconds.
Oh no. What is his throw? Did I do detour? Or do you even have a detour? Did I even say a detour?
You have not, but I don't believe that counts. That's after. Or no. Yeah, that doesn't count. That was after.
Oh my gosh. Freaking annoyed. Annoyed. Starts with, it's ANOD or something like that. Or ANO.
Oh, annoyed. Yep.
Anoid. That's what it is. And then freaking Nomad.
Nomad. There you go.
That I finally got
it. What disc did Gravity send you? The black disc. Was that an
Anoid
or was that a spin?
Oh, no, that's Anoid. That's an Anoid, yeah.
All right. I didn't know if that was that or spin.
I'm thinking more science words. Atom?
Yep. And tempo.
Particle.
You got 28 out of 66.
Oh my god. I didn't even say glitch. It just dawned on me. I didn't even say glitch.
I know glitch.
How many
That's
did
why
I
said
get?
pixel. The first
You got
thing.
28 out of 66.
Oh my, I did way better than I thought I was gonna.
Mhm.
Holy crap.
So there's oh no, there is a limit. Yeah. So you got 29. Wait, why is that not coming up though? Huh. Is that oh, it's because it's out of production, so they didn't count it.
Oh, did I say an older disc?
Mm-hmm. So there's a couple others. There's the Nitro, the Catalyst, the Wave.
I thought I said that.
No.
The Crave.
Crave?
Crave.
What the heck is a crave?
At the Axiom. It's a really popular disc. Simon loves it.
Oh, wait, you know what? That Gary, this one of my card mates, an older guy, Gary.
Yes, he
would throw the crave. He threw a lot of MVP.
Yeah, a lot of people do now. He might have been always throwing it because like I was throwing MVP beforehand, but
Yeah, he was
not
throwing
too bad
crave, Xanity. There was one guy too that was on my lead card. He like lived off of the proxy. Like all of the holes he would throw his proxy.
Okay. Yeah, because there's like the Mayhem, the Vanish, the Defy, Fireball, Virus, Wrath.
I was like, I don't know these discs.
I didn't say them. Oh, Rhythm.
Pyro.
Oh, Pyro. How did I forget that one?
The Watt.
Huh?
The Watt. It's like a zone, but not exactly. The Tempo.
See, they do a lot of like science and like wavelength and like so if you hit like any of those
the hardest ones would have been the Streamline disc because we don't really throw a whole lot of
I don't really know Streamline
because that's like the Jet, the Flare, the Drift, the I know that one of their the Pilot, that's one of their popular ones, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about them.
The Entropy, that's like the Zone-esque type of disc. Yeah, but not too bad though. You did pretty good. I was debating between this and a Nova.
Oh god, I would do awful with that one. I don't think I know much.
Yeah, so the ones you missed is the Delirium, Tantrum, Excite, Relativity, a Panic, Mayhem, Catalyst, Tenacity, Phase, Defy, Trace, Vanish, Jet, Orbital, Motion, Fireball, Flare, and Wrath, Lift, and Virus for the drivers. Rhythm, Drift, Resistor, Servo, Crave, and Ascend for Fairway. The mid ranges that you missed was the Runaway, Pyro, Echo, Uplink. Was a very popular one. That's an understable mode.
I don't know that one.
You missed that Entropy, Stabilizer, Ion.
Oh my god.
You do know that one. That one sounds familiar to me.
The Ohm, the Pilot, the Watt, and the Glitch.
Which I'm surprised you did not say glitch. I didn't even know that was an M. I should have known because it's the same.
I cannot believe
plastic. It's the same consistency of the pixel.
Well, I'm thinking of like because obviously I've been studying a little bit more on the MVP side because I've been really liking MVP stuff. And so I've been like looking at ones, and those were like the main ones I normally see in like gravitydiscgolf.com and definitely also like what I've heard from Simon and also from Eagle. So but there's a lot of those I did not know. So dang, I did way better than I thought. Really, I thought maybe I knew 10. So getting 29, you said?
Yeah, you got 29.
Yep.
29.
I helped you with 2 of them.
And you could have said the glitch. You could have.
I didn't even.
We have a glitch
I
literally
knew.
on the bench downstairs, right next to you.
I know. I literally, the first thing he said MPP and I said Pixel. And I was like, I don't know if that counts though, because you said February.
Oh, you said February.
Yeah, that's why the Eagle one technically didn't count.
The rebirth,
yeah. The rebirth doesn't count technically because it's after.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
And the rebirth is technically an envy, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he said, "What is it
even...
made out of?" And that's why I said.
So what's crazy about the rebirth is, it's basically a mid-range envy.
Yeah,
because that thing flies so far.
It
flies so far.
Literally, ask Sarah.
I know you guys are talking about it yourselves about his more in detail with his journey of his disc golf tournament. But yes, he would pull that thing out and it would just fly. So good.
I can't wait for you to see that video. So Sarah, actually, I didn't ask her to do this, which it was super amazing that she did, though. I'm very excited. She recorded every single shot for the both rounds.
Oh, nice.
Every single shot. So that video will be released soon. Obviously, that's 2 full 18-hole rounds that I have to go through footage.
Which is fine because you can break it up too. You can do the one for one video, the back, first round, second round, or you could break it up.
Yeah.
Front 9, back 9, front 9, back 9.
It's just myself. So it's not, she didn't get like the other people's shots.
No, exactly. But that's what I mean. So it might be pretty quick if you do round 1, round 2, and 2 separate videos.
Yeah. No. And that's the thing is oh man, I mean, like, obviously, like I said, we'll go into it, but there was one shot where I was maybe 200-ish feet away and I just launched it on a nice just line, and that sucker literally hit the bottom pole under the basket and just parked itself. And I was that thing was just, oh man, it was just butter for me. And it definitely,
it's just safe to say, I know he's got to record his updated thing, but like I could say that Tyler's comfortable and confident in the bag and his disc that he has right now. You can see the difference.
Oh, 100%.
Compared to the last time, like the last time he played this one, like obviously weather condition does a different situation, but he ended with a plus 19 in this time. He ended with a plus 3. Like the confidence of he didn't lose a disc this time because of
or go OB. I'd never gone
OB, but like, yeah, so that's a difference. But like the panic of he would go OB on this course and he was like, my entire game now is over. Like I have nothing. And now it was, and you'll see in one of the clips, he forgets to grab a disc and he has a moment where he's like, well, that was the one I was going to throw. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go walk across this entire disc golf course to go grab it for you because he forgot it in the tree. But I come back and he was still fine compared to before.
I birdied that.
Yeah, he birdied that one. I come back, you'll miss it. You'll just see me jump in when he is putting the disc in the basket. But
the rebirth.
Yeah, that rebirth actually helped you with that. That was one of them where I'm excited for you guys to see the video of it or videos of it because a very different gameplay. So yeah. There's plenty. I recorded every single shot he took. So
nice.
Yeah, so now I'll have to just follow Kyle around and record a full game. Oh, I shouldn't have said that because I'm literally going to be at family vacation with you guys.
And make it easy for us.
What do you think you're going to be doing? You're going to be our Connor.
He's coming to discuss.
You're going to be our Connor for our family vacation. You gotta hold the camera. We'll be mic'd up. You just got to hold the mic or camera.
Thanks, Rodney.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Rodney.
I said
We have
multiple
proof.
times. I said multiple times on this course. You won't hear it because Tyler won't have the audio. That I wanted to retire and I quit because it was brutal
Okay.
and hot.
Time out. Because she was doing that the entire first game and half of the second game, I actually carried my bag. So I didn't
Yeah,
I didn't
I
actually have her
carried the
carry your bag.
umbrella and my water,
No,
and
you
he carried
pimped
his
walk
bag.
with the umbrella.
I did.
You used it as a cane.
Yes, but I Rodney officially checked in to carry the bag at the set during the last like 10
Well,
holes.
I was dying. That's a whole nother
Yes.
story. We'll get into that.
Yes. But yeah,
People.
I'm excited. I'm shocked because Tyler told me that Iowa's been getting really bad floods and like a dam broke. And do you not know about this, Kyle?
Not really.
Oh, like Des Moines area around
It's a Quad
has
City.
been like, no, not Quad City, like Des Moines has been like underwater. Like it looks like a hurricane came through it of like massive floods. Yeah, I had no
Yeah.
idea. And I was like, so Tyler's the one, like, did you notice it about what? And he's like, Iowa is like underwater right now. I was like, huh,
Atlantis.
interesting. And I was like, are they gonna have their tournament? Because it's literally in Des Moines. But
All right, welcome back. As you all heard, Rodney's Corner there. I'm super excited now. We get to talk about Tyler's tournament that he had. The 2024 Northwest Florida Disc Golf Championship was super hot out. You said a couple dropped out throughout
Heat
the
advisory.
entire tournament.
Yep.
So heat advisory, super hot, rough,
Playing,
weather implications.
yeah.
Had to make sure you had water. Just overall tough situation, but you managed to fight through it. You played both rounds, which is awesome. As you mentioned earlier, you finished fourth. You were putting with your Lunas. Your score doesn't look bad at all. So the Lunas had to work somehow. You would right.
No, it was good. It was good. So obviously there's only 11 people in the division, but technically we actually started with 15 people. So technically I came in fourth out of 15th. So which incorrect. We started with 19 people. So technically we had 19. 3 people didn't show up at the first round, and then we had that many dropouts all the way to 11th. So my bad. But yes, I came in fourth place. And definitely yeah, I have to say that this tournament was my best tournament I have ever done. And I felt so confident, so prepared, which was really weird because I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't really play much after Walnut Open because of just scheduling. But this week or the week prior, what I did was I just would take my disc because I was busy also that week, so I couldn't really get to a course. And also, ironically, that entire week was storms. So like, and not even just like rain, it was actual like thunderstorms and severe, weather. So I couldn't really go to a course at the time. So I would be inside and just work on my form, just work on, what I can in the garage with putting and just kind of just figure out some things just if I can. And when I got there, well, first off in the morning, I knew it was going to be hot. And this is when it becomes of the factor of I want to start off with this it is very important for you to bring things to a course. So obviously this course, there's not really much around here. So there's meaning like there's not much stores or food places options or whatever. So definitely this course, we always bring stuff. So we're always come prepared. And I think I sent you a video the day before showing like all the stuff that I had. I had like water monsters, like Uncrustables, chips, like stuff like that, like just things to keep energy wise. For like sugar just throughout for out the time that I was there, I would get like haichu, the chewies or whatever they're called.
Right.
Just to have some sugar, because obviously it's hotter. But yeah, mainly water and just things to keep me going, electrolytes, obviously. So I came prepared, especially Sarah was with me. So, which she caddied for me, which I have to say, if I did not have her or have somebody as my caddy, I would have not made it through the second round. Because there was a split moment in the morning that she was actually not going to go. Not because of the heat or the weather. It was just, she just, woke up a little bit late, and I was just like, hey, if you want to come, I would love for you to come. If you don't want to come, I totally get it. But if you want to come, I would love for you to be there. And so she did end up coming, and I'm glad she did, because if she didn't, I don't think I would have made it. So it was that hot. There were a lot of people dropped out halfway through the first round. Some people didn't even show up at all. And then there's some people never showed up after lunch. And it was hot. And I have to say, the TDs that were there, his name was Webb, was the main guy. Dude was amazing. They had multiple water stations, not just like, oh, we're gonna put one in the beginning and the end and like the middle. Like, no, they had one almost like every other like hole. They had because obviously it's an abandoned golf course, so it's a very open field. And there were some trees here and there, but definitely they tried like almost every fourth hole or so, or 3 or 4 holes,
Mhm.
they would have actual canopies. So that's like, at least go under some shade while you're waiting, because hole 10, which was technically going into obviously the back 9, that hole for some reason played a little bit more difficult for people. And uh there was always like a pile up for that hole. So they had a canopy there for people just to sit there, if because of the heat. And so
Right.
yeah, it was a hot one, but it's definitely, it was good. So I'm ready just to get into this.
Of course. Which hole did you start on, by the way,
Okay,
in the
so
first round?
first round we started at hole 17.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So
So
uh, obviously, if anybody doesn't know what courses is, I know that we discussed the course one of our earlier podcasts. So I still kind of recall the course overall.
this
So if you just
one,
kind of want to let me know what
yeah,
how the round went overall,
yeah.
disc you were selecting, discs that
Oh yeah.
were on fire and everything else.
Yep. So, hole 17 is a very unique hole. So it says it plays at 261, but um, pretty much what happened there is you, it is a high tee box, like a huge elevated tee box, like on this huge hill, and you shoot down to the basket, and the basket about 20-ish feet behind it, there's a drop into the pond, and it plays obviously OB. So it is a very difficult hole to start off immediately. So I have this shot out because, like, obviously we'll go through the disc selections that I do, but I have to massively give a shout out to you and Maverick Scott. One of my go-to disc now is the Mantra. Mantra fit
Hmm.
perfectly in my bag. You guys were like the guru disc like option for that. Like, I told you guys exactly what I'm missing in my bag. That freaking disc was like a missing puzzle piece to my bag. Like, it fits right into my game. And like, I have to just give you guys a huge shout out for that, because damn, like, the Mantra fits perfectly with my gameplay. And most of these most of these holes I threw my Mantra, to be completely honest. But I absolutely love that disc. Like, that is my, like, I will definitely say that it beats out my Raptors. I love my Raptors, but I absolutely have been loving my Mantra. So
That is a very good disc. What and I know you happened to get 4 birdies in this first round, which is excellent. Were those tough birdies? Were they you pretty much parked them? You talked about your putting. Were these puttable birdies? Were they under the basket birdies?
yeah. So honestly, if you could tell that hold on. Obviously you could tell that most of my birdies were from holes that are a par 4 or more. So the hole 1, hole 4 is a plays as a par 4, and then hole 10 plays as a par 5. And the hole 3 obviously is just a par 3. So the hole 1 and hole 4 are obviously my third shot. I'm right under the basket.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hole 10 was the same thing. I was just right on the basket with my rebirth. And then obviously hole 3, that was like maybe 15 feet from the basket, with a little bit on the left hand side. So yeah.
What was your favorite disc that you were using for your upshots
So yes.
and grabbing a hold of quite a bit?
Yeah, so my go-to upshot disc was definitely the rebirth. So fell in love with it. I was breaking it in during Walnut Open, and that's when I
Mm-hmm.
started to kind of get the lines down. So that was kind of Walnut Open was pretty much of me realizing like, okay, this is what I could do. And then when I got here, the rebirth is also one of my first discs that are in that like larger like dome, like a larger disc, like a putter pretty much, because I mean it is
Right, right.
way that I could actually power grip and I don't grip lock it. I actually
Mm-hmm.
like could do a full grip throw with it and it doesn't affect me like as it would if I try to do that with like my Luna or anything else. Like I could actually give a power drive to it, which changed my game tremendously. So
You barely have to put anything on that freaking disc, and it flies further than I even want it to. Like it's ridiculous on how far that freaking rebirth. It's a mid range. That's not a mid range. Like that's how I feel with the rebirth.
I should have thrown it more for some holes, but it was difficult because I was hot and there's a lot of moments where I was just like I was
100%.
second guessing
But
things. So
for being hot and everything else, you finished with a +2. Very good first round, especially for what you were dealing with, what everybody was dealing with. The way your first tournament went, this is a huge momentum difference. There was a couple holes you obviously struggled with. I do have a quick question before we go to round 2 at all. There is a hole that they make it's a shorter hole, but they make it a really weird island type of hole where the cart path, you tee from OB and a cart path comes up. Did they still
oh,
play that the same way with the OB?
hole 6, yes.
Yes. How did that go
So
for you?
so I threw the mantra immediately. I would land in the middle, but the only problem is in the middle there's this huge tree. So for the
Mm-hmm.
first round, I actually was in that tree brush and the actual branches were thorns. So I was kind of in the mix of it, but like the only problem was is like my disc was in a weird position where it wasn't fully in. Like it
Right.
was in, but like I to be behind the disc, I was out of the bush. So or out of the brush. So for me to try to do because like there was a gap, but the only problem was it was so tight and there was so viney that I couldn't get a backswing on it because on the left hand side there was way too much vines in my way for the actual shot to go through that gap. So the only way to get through the gap was to do a flick and or like a forehand. So I decided not to do that. And so and this thing is like maybe like 30 feet tall. Like it's super tall. I don't know. It was insane. It was a huge bush. So my thought was like, oh, I'll just throw a thumber over it. And but I wanted to go softly because the basket is maybe like 80 feet away from me. So like I didn't want to overly throw it because the thing is it's like an hourglass. There's so much OB in the area, and because that was my blow up hole, the first tournament I ever played there, I didn't want that to happen again. And so that was really playing in my head of just like, I don't want to go OB again, which the entire time I never did. So all of my like bogeys or blow up is because of just my putting. And so I try to do the thumber, overly soft throw, barely makes it over to the brush and just lands in front. And so now I have like a 60-foot putt for my third shot. And so I hit ban, it goes under the basket, and then I go in for 4. So that's why I took a 4 on that.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's I know that hole's tricky. We talked about the hole before, and I was kind of curious on how that ended up going for you because I forgot which hole it was. But obviously, as you said, you took a 4, and it looks like round 2 you did did as well. What happened? Was it the same situation, or this time did you go big drop zone type of situation?
So this time I went further right with the mantra, same, pretty much almost same line, but just further. I did a little more to the right to get not in fully in the center, which actually landed on the right side. So this time I have an angle. So I went for an upshot, but at this time though, this is when I was not feeling good at all because so it was weird after lunch because it was so hot. I like downed my Gatorade and I drank a huge bottle of like an ice cold water, which was probably the worst thing to do of being like overly hot. So
right.
Which at this time I started on hole 17 again. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hole 6 was my 7th hole, technically, up to that point. So 7 holes in already. This is when I was not feeling good at all. So I landed, and at the time my judgment was like, I just need to just get it under the basket. So I grabbed actually my pixel and I just kind of lightly tossed it. But the thing is like my energy was so low that my lightly toss was like a 20-foot toss. Like it was barely nothing. So it landed, and then I try to go for the shot, and it literally once again hits ban, pops down, and then go in for 4.
Again. Another bogey. But overall, though, you finished a +1 this round, which is put you at the plus. Was it +1 you finished this round?
Hold on. Oh
+2.
no, it is not showing my.
Overall, yeah, +1. So you finished plus.
Yeah, I finished +1 with the second round.
Right, and a
Um,
+3 overall, which is really good. I do know for some reason it's not showing some of the
I don't
scores
know. That's
on some
weird.
of
But
them.
there's a
That's
birdie.
weird.
I did a birdie hole 10 again.
I figured there had to have been some birdies here.
Yeah, I birdie hole 10 to bring it back down to +1. And then
Overall though,
everything was par.
yeah, so very clean round, obviously, honestly, for obviously you always hate when you take two bogeys, but still the fact that you ended up needing only one birdie to shoot a +1, and it wasn't like, your first round you had four birdies, but you still finished a +2. You really cleaned that up a lot, even shooting
Yeah.
pars throughout the round, which is really nice. Um, Obviously, like I said, finishing with a +3 overall, getting a fourth place, fantastic job. Let's talk a little bit though, not so much about the course, but the situation that had happened to you because of the heat, because of the
Hmm.
dropouts and everything else. Because you did text saying, "Hey, the score's wrong in here because
Yeah.
they marked you late, but you technically are not a no-show because the fact that they last minute said no, 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 we got to move here. No,
Yeah.
this is getting moved and blah blah blah."
Yeah. Okay. So, throughout lunch, they gave us a little bit more time, which was kind of interesting, but they gave us a little more time to just kind of like take a break, which was cool for
Which
them.
is good. Mm-hmm.
So like it was like an hour and like I think like 15 minutes, I think break ended up being. But anyways, but as we had so we got we finished first round around like 11:30
Mm-hmm.
and tea time for the second round was at 12:45. So it was an additional, yeah, it was an hour and 15 minutes. Um, every so often I would look on the PD, or obviously the, the um PDGA live app for, my card. Because they didn't do an email for some reason, which is fine. But I was just kind of like watching the update for, my second card. And at this time, I'm sitting in a very weird position. I'm sitting literally, there's a couple ties. Well, there was a tie for second place at the time, which ironically ended with the second place tied for second place as well. And because of that, I was in this weird position where I kept bouncing from lead card and chase card.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this kid in the middle with an even. And his name was Chris, which I didn't play with him, but it just that's his name was Chris. So he played first round all the way through. So he technically was supposed to be back. And I was seeing each like 20 minutes, I'll update my phone on the app, and it would say like I'm starting on hole 15, and then I'll refresh, and it'll say like I'm starting on hole 16, and then I'll refresh, and then it says I'm starting on hole 17, and then I'll refresh, and then it'll say 15 again, and it'll say 16 again, and it just kept doing that over and over and over again. And then it got to the point where it was switching from 17 and 16, 17 and 16. And I don't know why, but technically, um, oh, well, I guess it does make sense because I was on chase, so I would be in front of them. So yeah, that does make sense. But hole 16 was obviously the the lead card. And so I I would literally, it just kept saying 16, 17, 16, 17. And so finally, this is right now 5 minutes before second round starts. So Sarah and I will grab our stuff, and I was like, all right, let's go. We're starting to walk. And at this time, my card or my digital card says T start at hole 16. So I'm heading towards hole 16. I'm maybe about 80 feet away, and I look down on my phone, and then it says hole 17. And I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll go to hole 17. So then I start walking back to hole 17, and there's one guy standing there, and that is Wright Dobbs, which finished in 5th. Um, I walked up and I was like, hey, my name is Tyler. He's like, my name's Wright. I was like, all right, cool. And we were waiting for our other card mates because we were supposed to have 4, obviously. All of a sudden, this truck pulls up, like on the course, and it's the tournament director, Webb, and he's like, are you Tyler? And I was like, yeah, my name is Tyler. He's like, oh yeah, so you know the start on this hole, correct? And I was like, yeah. It kept switching back and forth. He goes, yeah. He's like, you're just in a weird spot. You keep bouncing back and forth because a lot of people are just DNFing. So we decided just to put you on Chase card. And I was like, that's not an issue at all. He's like, all right. He's like, thank you so much for being cool. And I was like, yeah, but the only problem is you just did a 2-minute warning, and there's only 2 of us, and legally we can't play with 2 players. Obviously, PDGA rule, you can't play. He goes, oh, he's like, crap. He's like, I totally forgot that Gary, which was the guy who I played with the first round, he actually DNF'd. He started cramping and was just like, I'm done. And then another person didn't show up, didn't come back from lunch. So he's like, okay, hold on, let me get everything going, and then he's like, let me park my car and I'll walk with you guys. So at first, he was just gonna walk with us. So he comes back. Obviously, it's game starts. He's like, okay, I'm here. He's like, you guys could start. And so we finish hole 17. And then we finish hole 18. And but at hole 18, when we were halfway done, he like left and he came back and he goes, okay, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you guys on the card in front of you. Is that okay? I was like, yeah, cool, not an issue. And so he's like, just finish out the hole and then I'll meet you there. And then of course, right, there was like porta potties there. He's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the restroom fast. This is after we're done. We put our thing in. He's like, I'm going to the restroom and then we'll go over there. And so he went to the restroom and then we start walking over there. As we're walking over there, Webb, the tournament director, comes back again. He goes, hey, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split you guys and put one of you guys on the card in front and then one of you guys on the card but on the back. And so on lead card, there was one person that was on my first card and I really like vibed with him. So I was like, I was like, well, I'm gonna delegate myself to go on that card. And also as a lead card, obviously I want to go there because I know it's gonna motivate me to play better. So I was like, I'm gonna go pick with these guys. So I went with them. And also so they were on hole 18 finishing up at this time. And then they finish, and his name is actually Austin. He like turned after we finished. He goes, "Is that Tyler?" And I was like, and then so he's coming. He's like, "Oh, what's going on?" I go, "Hey, so they're actually going to put me on your guys' card." And then the tournament director came in and kind of explained the whole deal. And so basically, what he wanted us to do was I had to remove Wright off my card and add them onto my card. And so we did that. But then what I found out was they started their card 5 minutes before the 2-minute warning started. And which I don't know why they did, but because I found out that it was Luis who did this. I'm name dropping sadly, but the guy who ended up winning actually, but he started the card 5 minutes before the 2-minute warning. So technically 7 minutes early before before it even started. And at that time when he started, my name was still on that card. So at this point of time, I have a duplicate card happening. And so, and he's following the rules where I I was a no show. So on hole 16, he gave me par +4. On hole 17, he gave me par +4. And I was able to catch him before he did it on 18. Because he's like, oh yeah, we had a Tyler on a card, but he never showed. I go, yeah, is it Tyler Faltasek? He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I was like, I've been switching back and forth. And he goes, oh, why didn't you show? And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's because I had this complication with it. Like, this is what's going on. And so like he was kind of really whatever about it at first, but then like he kind of chilled finally, because like after figuring out like what's going on, of course I had the tournament director of like, this is what's going on. And but yeah, he pretty much that's what happened. Is he started the card early, I had a duplicate, and so my score was just all over the place right now at this point. And so um it just wasn't, he couldn't fix it for some reason at the time, so I just let it be until about like halfway through. And then that's when I saw the tournament director again, just kind of like walking around, make sure everything's okay. And I called him again. I was like, hey, just real fast, it's saying I have this score. This is not my score. This is what I have currently. He sees it. He goes, oh, he's like, this is really weird. He goes, let me see if I could actually like fix it like manually right here. And he actually was able to like fix it, which luckily enough, that's great. But the only problem is like, it still had like weird, like it still has weird, like obviously freaking round 2 has six of my my score is missing, which doesn't,
Not
that doesn't,
showing, yeah.
yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Which like how does it show completion if I'm missing 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and it shows, and I shot an 834 rating? Like that doesn't, okay. So that's the only issue that I have about it. But they were able to fix it and solve it, and so that was really crazy. But yeah, that's honestly what happened. Was um the card mates started their card way too early, which is should be another situation or problem that we probably they PDJ needs to fix or figure out. Because if there's a situation like that where you have to remove or add, like you never know like what happened. But also at the same time, like obviously professionals are doing shotgun starts, or like, they're starting off on hole 1 each time. So it's a little bit different, but definitely like with these, style, like, I don't know. It just, that definitely, I'm sorry, not
Yeah,
fun.
not having the physical paper sheets anymore. It does make it odd when complications like this do arise, because the fact that you can't really necessarily fix things all the time right then and there
Yeah.
if the app's messing up or anything else. But
So
it is convenient because everybody has a phone, so it is easy to do. But like I said,
so it was more like so this was also, which was really weird too, is um my card never lined up with their card the entire round. So like which was weird, because like you would think it were the same people, so like they're getting the same stuff. Like, why is mine not lining up with theirs?
right.
So so I would have to go off of theirs, and like, so they couldn't do the typical like, okay, from the top, like 3 3 4 3. Like they had to say like Austin got this, Steven got this, Tyler got this, Lewis got this, like, because my card for some reason it was never right. And so our T, like who got T or whatever, we had to go off of theirs, not mine, because mine was wrong for some reason, which I don't understand that how that was. But and then also what was really weird too is because they started on hole 16, they all finished hole 15, and they had to follow me to hole 16, which I mean obviously is the next hole, and they had to just watch me by myself as I play the hole by myself. which was like a really weird experience. Was my last hole I had to play. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you said something about it, and I was like, well, that's interesting. That's a very interesting situation. But like I said, due to weather, it's hard. People are gonna back out. People are gonna back out last minute. It was super humid. You're down in Florida, and we're talking like you feel like you just walked out of the sauna or
Oh yeah.
a shower or the ocean or anything like that. That's how hot it is there. But I mean, overall, you finished the round, like I said, great job, great tournament, a +3. You finished fourth place and you got something for it. For those that you don't can't see, then if you're listening on Spotify or yeah, Spotify, and you can't see this, go over to YouTube, check this out real quick. But Tyler got a fourth place trophy. It doesn't say fourth place, but this is what the fourth place trophy was. This I don't know what kind of what disc is that? What mold is it?
It
Is it a
is
dynamic disc or
Saint Pro.
okay? Yeah, it is during part of their
Yeah, Lat
trilogy,
264.
right?
Yeah, it's actually 174 grams. Like this is actually a really nice one. Kind of want to throw
Yeah,
it.
Saint Pros are really nice. Saint Pros
Yeah.
are really nice. So
No, but
Latitude has some really nice disc.
I will probably hang this, obviously.
Oh,
I'm
100%.
really weird with like these style ones because like it really, like I played this. Like I got in fourth place. Like to me, this is my trophy. Like it, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it is technically like I gave this. I'm the only one. Well, obviously other fourth place people on the other divisions
Right,
got it too,
right.
but like I got this. Like this is mine. So like this is important for me. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, as I just threw in my couch. But yeah. um yeah, it was cool, but I do want to explain my like go-to. My camera keeps out of focusing for some reason. I don't know what is going on. But yeah, pretty much top disc that helped me get to this was definitely my Enigma go-to for the longer par fours. Super great. I was hitting great distance with that. Um, Definitely my mantra was my go-to. My sanity, my hex, my raptor, and obviously my rebirth.
Nice.
Those were my main disc that I was going for. Randomly popped up. I was this was so funny. I gotta say this story real fast. You will laugh at this. So I am checking in. It's just me and the person that's being checked in, or me and the person that was checking me in. And she was like, "What's your name? What's division?" And I was like, "I'm Tyler Sick." And um, as I'm saying that, I'm looking down and there's like these uh boxes of just
Mm-hmm.
disc, and and in the very far corner of like the last like one, it's a very dark blue disc, and I'm just staring at it, and like I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, that's my fucking FX2. I'm like, that's my FX2 right there. Like it has to be.
That's where
Like
you got it.
I'm
Nice.
seeing the rim, just the rim, and I'm just like, this has to be it. And I thought that thing was gone, and
Mm-hmm.
she sees me looking at the basket or at the box, and she's like, "Oh, do you see something that you lost?" I was like, I go, maybe. I go, do I have to rebuy my disc if my disc is in there? And she's like, oh no. She's like, people obviously could buy the disc here if like they want to, but if it's your disc and if you find it before somebody buys it, like obviously like you we will just give it to you, like it's yours. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, all right. I'm like, well, first off, I was like, that's really cool. Like I'm glad they do it that way. I go out of curiosity because she's like, it's over behind the table. Obviously, I'm like, out of curiosity, that far black or that far back blue rim one, can you grab that and it? Can you see if it's an FX2 and on the rim it will say Ty and then like said the phone number and she literally pulls it out like and immediately you see it's an FX2. She starts laughing and she's like, "You guys with your disc, like you just see the rim and you knew exactly it was your disc." And I was like, "I just know it was." And so she flipped it and of course it said my name and it was right there and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "I lost this disc and I thought it was a goner." So FX2 relives. He is
It
back.
relives. And
He's
you used to use that all the time.
he is back. I ironically did not use it in the tournament. I think I just didn't want to. I didn't want to lose it again. I didn't
And
want.
it's been sitting for so long. Who knows where it was sitting and everything
Yeah,
else.
I
It
need to.
could
I
have.
really need to rethrow it to see like
Yep.
how it is because I'm afraid. Because I grabbed it and I was like, yeah, I got it, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna throw this. I go, something telling me not to throw it. So I have my original FX2 back, which is now in my collection of like 50 of them that I have. But yeah, I thought that was a really funny story to tell you about that. But yes, I
Oh,
have
that's
my
awesome.
FX2. Sadly, rest in peace, my Ledgestone Raptor. It would have been there if it was there. And sadly, I actually did look in the bins just to kind of see. I didn't see it. So sadly, I had to just rest in peace that. So I think that's going to be gone. But I do have my FX2 back though. So it relives once more. So
Which is perfect. You mean your Enigma came back, your FX2 came back, so you're getting pretty lucky here.
I am. And honestly, the Enigma came in clutch, especially for hole one. I was throwing that easily in the 300. Um, I was throwing it nice, just especially for that par four. I was getting threes on that one. For the hole one. Let me see here. Hole one. Yeah, hole one played at 462.
Okay.
And my first shot was my Enigma, which I think would land in around the 320, 330 range. And then I would take my Rebirth and just park her out of the basket.
That Rebirth, I reach for that disc so much now.
That's literally what my whole one. I did that. That round one. That's what I did. And then round two, I parted, but it was a poorly putt. So same thing. Literally Enigma was in the same spot. Rebirth was a little bit more out. It was like maybe 15, 20 feet out. And for some reason, this time the wind was kind of picking up a little bit. So I got a little sketch and I overthought it. And I literally I I threw it and it just went over the basket, which was funny. It went over the basket and went further. And I was like, am I really going to bogey this from a birdie bid? And then I ended up slamming the putt for par. And then I laughed. And I was just like, apparently when it's a birdie, I throw like a bitch, but when it's a par, I throw confidently and it goes right in and everybody starts laughing. So it was a good card that I had, but yeah, it was. But yeah, dude, it was good. But that's what I'm saying is like I could have easily had a way better score if my putting was just on point. So I need to work on that.
Yeah, like I said, I'll find the owned video. I'll send it in our little group chat. Watch it. Like I said, it's 4 years old, but it helped me a ton.
Oh yeah.
I I've been through many different putting things, but this is finally something that has felt good. It's only been 2 weeks, but I'll keep practicing at it. I'll keep doing it. And I feel a lot more confident putting this way, a lot more comfortable putting this way. And I feel like I have a lot more zip on my putts to hit the basket and hit the chains.
Oh yeah. I
But
definitely
congratulations
thank
on the
you.
fourth
Yeah.
place finish.
Yeah, I definitely I'm excited for it. And like I said, this was a really good one. I felt really good. And man, I really felt good. And it's been one of those. I was getting really worried because like I said, like the whole weather thing down here really was annoying and very taxing mentally. And like all I want to do is just play disc golf because it helps me out a ton. But um finally able to play and play well, man, it is the reason why I'm doing this podcast, is the reason why I absolutely love disc golf. It's because of the weekend I had. Was I literally the entire time going home talking to Sarah, like, this is like, I'm so proud of myself. Like I was so proud, so confident, so just like truly just in awe with my performance. And even though my putting was just a little mid, and like I could have definitely done better with my putting, but just overall, just my mental game, I've been focused on my mental game so much. And for me to
Mm-hmm.
like have a blow up hole, which was just basically just getting a bogey, still didn't go OB at all, but just get a bogey, just cash it in for the bogey, and then go to the next hole, just breathe and be like, that never happened. And just freaking get a birdie right off the bat, and then like pars after that. Like, my old self would never be able to do that. And so my mental game is just so good with it. Actually playing golf, like we've explained this for the past few, like, honestly, that's been kind of like our thing now for the past month or so, is playing actual golf style disc golf. And you know thinking mentally like that, and doing it with this tournament, which I did with Walnut, but with this tournament though specifically, definitely shows like, okay, I could probably actually get a dub. And it shows. I mean, like, especially for this year, like, I've done 3 tournaments so far. um yeah, I've done 3 tournaments this so far. um One, I came in ninth place, obviously. Other one, I went up to MA3, obviously, for Walnut
Mm-hmm.
Open. But I got a 17th place. But then once again, I came back down here and I got fourth. So I went from ninth to fourth, though, same course, huge jump, literally 5 positions. So I can't imagine the next time I play that tournament, or a tournament at that course, I'm definitely podium. I'm definitely taking podium or winning.
I'd love to see it. So
Yes, that'd be so cool.
yes.
So yeah,
And before we call it a night here, I forgot what episode you said we were on, but it is episode
29.
29.
Yeah,
29. Yeah. Next week, the big 30.
big
Another
30.
10. Another 10. So
Oh
thank you all
man,
for
we gotta figure out what
listening,
we want to do for that one.
have and everything else. So I appreciate everybody listening. As Ty said, we do this because we love disc golf. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of
and
fun, and we'll keep the grind going.
we'll keep the grind going. Thank you so much for all the support. We're excited to see you guys on episode 30 next week. That's crazy, 30. So yeah, other than that, guys, we'll let you go. Have fun. Keep playing disc golf. We'll see you guys in the course. And get prepared for some more content because it's definitely coming. So once again, guys, my name is Ty, and I have Kyle here with me, and we are signing out.